Hi guys, today we're gonna be looking at the new Hltv fantasy update for the upcoming fall season, which we can see. We'll be breaking it down fully. So in the start we have the introduction, and then basically the prize pool will be $10,000 as well as the last season, so that hasn't changed. We have for first place 5k, for second 2k, for third we have 1k, and 4 to 10 get $300. Now we have the lower points for best of ones, which is I think a good update. So what this update means is that the performance of your players in best of ones, they will get half the points that they were getting. So basically the points will be divided by 2, and it will result in less impact for your players, and basically that means that you should keep your boosters, your good boosters, for the best of 3s and best of 5s, because it's useless to put it in a best of 1, I think. But other than that, the best of 5s will be multiplied by 1.25, so that's a good change. Even if there aren't as many best of 5 finals now, that's still a good change. Next up we have the updated roles, and as we can see, the roles in red mean that they were debuffed, and in green it means that it got a buff. This role, which is white, this is a totally new role, eco-friendly. It's in place of Clutch King, because as you can see Clutch King wasn't used very often, so they replaced it with this. In my opinion, this is a good change, and now you can chop one of these on your IGLs, and it can get pretty much some good points. I think 007 SMG shotgun per round, I think it's doable on IGLs who drop everything to the main guys. So that's about the eco-friendly role. Let's jump into the others. We can see the main op has got a debuff, and that means that you won't wanna use it on players as simple Zaivu, just because maybe they won't have the op in their hands as much as they like, and especially Zaivu, who likes to use a lot more rifles, so that's one thing. The support role kind of stayed the same. We have a debuff in the small activation, so 17% is actually a lot compared to 10, so that would be interesting how people would use that role, because normally I put my support onto someone like Kicker Tinters, so who are pretty much a full supportive guys. So I don't know how it will be used now, or will people use it as frequently as they did. The leader, as we can see, has now a max activation of winning in regulation in a best of 1 or not dropping a map in a series. And the small activation is if you lose a map in a series and if you win in overtime, which is actually a drastic change compared to what it was, because if you got a win, you got the max activation no matter what. So this was a really good pick for your low budget players from good teams. This is a buff, a debuff I think that people will stop using leader as much as they did. So yeah, the defender role now, as we can see, the small activation is bumped up to 1.0 rating to be. It was 0.85 earlier, so that's quite a loss as well for your points, but maybe it won't be used as frequently as well, but who knows actually. Multi-fragger role, the small activation is again on 0.14, that's not such a big impact. The camper role had a buff for max activation 0.55 and less, and the small one 0.65, which means, I mean, gem will still be usable with the camper one, so it doesn't really matter. The headshot machine small activation has been just reduced. The entry fragger not so much. So yeah, the other roles are quite the same, I'd say. I mean, there's a joystick for the stat hunter and stuff, but if you're putting a stat hunter on a player, you expect him to be at least 1 overrating, so that's about it. And it's a good buff that they decreased it to 130 for the max activation, so that will be a good role, I think. Okay, so now let's jump into the boosters. As you can see, we have them on the screen, and there are some new roles as well as a lot of buffs on some boosters. So we have the Feeling 22, which is the new Hltv sponsor basically, so it's just double points whatever you put it on. Third player gets, just the role gets double points. We have a Farmer, which is 3 SMG kills in a single map. That would be quite useful actually for the IGLs and the Eco Fraggers, so, or the Oppers, I guess, if they will get dropped some SMG to farm some kills, so this will be useful to put on them. Next up we have Cannon Fodder, which activates on 6 cluster 1 rounds survived or fewer, so I guess this will be put mainly on the anchors. You just hold the B-jumper on Mirage or stuff. So now we have the roles that were previously here, but their activation has changed. We'll start off with the flash. So earlier you needed 5 flash assists, now you need 4, which is something. The Kobe roll from 2 grenades now is a 1 grenade. That's definitely a big improvement because it's much more easier to get 1 grenade kill than 2, obviously. So that's a good one. The saver has been reduced from 5 to 3 rounds. Now this is just a booster. This boost is just to farm people on Inferno basically. If a team plays Inferno, just chuck it onto the Inferno playing team and they will 100% save at least 3 times if they're an anchor. So that will be really useful and to farm points. The quad or the ace, so the role that was the booster that was ace has now become a quad, so you need 4 kills instead of 5 in a single round to activate it. That's useful. The carry has been removed from 30 to 25. This is much easier for Zevo and simple to get now. And we have the Rambo, which results in a knife, Zeus kill or shotgun kill now, so now there is a good chance that you can hit this as well, so it will be interesting. We have the newly added notifications, which means finally you can now get notifications here when your fantasy is starting or when to change boosters and stuff, so that's pretty useful. And last but not least, we have the points, which have been, again, the old activation and the new activation is different now. So for 18 points we have the top 5%, for 15 we have the top 10, well, top 20, which is now such a huge improvement. We'll get so much more points because top 3 and being top 5 is much different now, and as well as the other roles, so there will be definitely more competitiveness in the upcoming fall season. So this will be interesting, definitely, and for sure it will be an interesting season to come. And that's pretty much it for the update. There's nothing more new, so hope you enjoyed.